years into President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, Correspondent takes an in-depth look at the key developments shaping Nigeria's transport industry, driving economic growth, and enhancing transportation options for Nigerians. And First Lady Oluremi Tinubu's Renewed Hope initiative takes capacity building for women empowerment to Nasarawa State, providing them with opportunities for economic and personal growth. Plus, in Ondo State, Leprosarium has provided shelter and support for leprosy patients, offering them a chance of living a normal life. Hello and welcome to the Correspondence this week. As usual, the program promises to be educative and engaging. I'm Zenra Dingmun, and thanks for being here. Let's begin with transportation. Now, Nigeria's transport sector has made notable progress under President Tinubu's administration, driving economic growth and enhancing transportation options for citizens. Our transport correspondent, Ladibala, takes an in-depth look at the key developments that are shaping the industry.
Robust and effective transportation systems are the backbone of economic growth and societal development. No nation can achieve significant progress in social, economic, and political advancement without a comprehensive transport system.
Transportation is the artery through which the live stream of all economic activities runs. Without it, economic freezes. Immediately transportation shut down, economy is in comatose. So, to boost economy, you have to boost your transportation.
That is why President Bola Tinubu's administration has prioritized transforming the Nigerian transport sector. The Federal Ministry of Transportation, through the Nigerian Railway Corporation, has embarked on revitalizing the railway system. The Abuja-Kaduna rail line has been refurbished and expanded, while the Lagos-Ibadan rail line, Africa's first standard gauge double-track railway, spans 156 kilometers with 9 stations. The completion and commissioning of the Port Harcourt-Aba rail line is another milestone, boosting economic activities from the southeast to other parts of the country. The Kaduna-Kano-Maradi railway projects are at 50% completion, and efforts are underway to utilize the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri rail line for the Northeast Corridor.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR has directed the ministry to continue with the execution of all the projects under railway modernization, from Lagos to Maradi, from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. The idea is to link the eastern and the western port to the hinterland. So all the impression is to be addressed to the members of the National Assembly so that they will tell Nigerians what they have seen and what is their impression on the project.
We have appropriated huge amount of money as far back as year 2022, a supplementary budget of 2023, a supplementary budget of 2024. And we are here to see what has been done with the huge amount of money already appropriated by the National Assembly. So far we are impressed with the level of mobilization. The equipment we have seen are first-class equipment, higher technology equipment being deployed for this purpose.
In recent years, the federal government has provided free train rides during festive periods and 50% discounted transport fares, a widely applauded initiative.
I feel safer entering the train from Port Harcourt to Aba, more like entering the road. Like you can see, I'm having my 2 kids here. I can't take them to that road. That's why we decided. Imagine we came all the way from Iwofe Road down here to come and enter this train. It's far cheap, it's more economical, and it's more safer.
A flagship initiative of this administration is the transition from petrol to compressed natural gas, easing costs and providing an eco-friendly alternative energy source.
A lot have been done in time of CNG. The first thing is to ensure safety. We put in place accreditation program where workshops that we do conversion are accredited. And today we have We have accredited workshop across the whole country.
As President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda marks 2 years, there are indications that the Federal Ministry of Transportation will continue to play a vital role in shaping, expanding, and improving Nigeria's transportation sector to compete with advanced countries.
Ladi Bala now joins us to discuss more on transportation sector and achievements so far. It's good to see you on the correspondence, Ladi.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now let's start. What progress has Nigeria's transport sector made under President Tinubu's administration? Of course, we've seen part of it in your report, but let's specifically key into the railway sector.
Oh, thank you so very much. The present administration has achieved so much in the transportation sector, even though you want me to zero down on railway, but I need to equally say we have this federal government is working towards having an integrated transportation system, and that is why we see a lot of reforms taking place in the aviation sector and also in the construction of roads, talking about the Lagos, Calabar, Coastal, Superhighway, and also in the railway sector. The federal government has significantly invested in that sector, and as it is right now, the sector is experiencing some kind of revolution, or rather modernization of the railway sector. Part of what the federal government did under the Tinubu administration, firstly, is to ensure that the railway is removed from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. And the essence of that is to open up the sector for state government, to get involved. The federal government ensured that they invested in infrastructure of the railway. And we see an upgrade and expansion of the Kaduna, Abuja-Kaduna rail. And we see the completion of Lagos-Ibadan railway and that of Port Harcourt-Calabar. On all this corridor, we see a lot of economic activities, taking place, and Nigerians are enjoying reduction in the cost of transportation fare. The economy has been stimulated. We now have a lot of trade and commerce activities taking place. Aside the discongestion on our roads, and the Nigerians have to now travel on, via rail is safer. The federal government has done so much in terms of investment in the railway. Is it the compressed natural gas initiative, the presidential compressed natural gas initiative? These are some of the investment that the federal government did.
Okay, Ladi, let's talk about the improvements that have been made so far to the transportation options for Nigerian citizens. Of course, you started talking about CNG, but can we get a more elaborate part of that, especially with the CNG? Just recently you did a report on a coach that was given to the Railway Corporation. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, okay. The options available for Nigerians made possible by the Tinubu administration. The key flagship improvement, in terms of option, is the initiative, the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas. Before now, Nigerians rely on petrol to run their vehicles. And with the removal of fuel subsidy, we realized that the cost of transportation skyrocketed. And this has its ripple effects on the economy. The purchasing power of Nigerians were affected, and things were not really, the cost of living, became high. And so the federal government came up with this compressed natural gas initiative, where vehicles in Nigeria are now being converted from the use of petrol to compressed natural gas, which is environmentally friendly, cost effective, and is safe, is actually safe. And this initiative have been launched, and state governments are buying into it, and different organizations, have been provided with this vehicle to just reduce the cost of transportation. You know, everything revolves around transportation. And so with these CNG buses, we now have a reduction in cost of transportation. Even the owner of vehicles are comfortable, driving on compressed natural gas, even though the only challenge right now is that we don't have so many stations spread. We don't have stations spread across the country. And I think that is one effort that the federal government is currently doing. The bottom line is, if all state government will invest, in the purchase of compressed natural gas vehicles that use compressed natural gas, even though some states have key. In Adamawa State is one, Borno State, Jigawa. We have a handful of state government that have enrolled into this initiative. And in all honesty, it is reducing the cost of transportation in various states. Here in FCT, we have it. The federal government gave to labor movement, to NATO, to NURTW, that there's this collaboration, among stakeholders, key stakeholders, to drive this initiative. And I think it's just a matter of time, because it's not just about the compressed natural gas. We also need stations spread across the country where people commuters can access, the gas, in the case of traveling. And we see how this has helped, especially during the Yuletide season. The federal government, brought out, compressed natural buses using compressed natural gas, and reduced the cost of transport fare by 50% to Nigerians during Christmas, New Year, and even during other festive periods.
Okay, sorry to cut you short, but let me just ask this, since you mentioned it. NATO and NURTW, they're getting collaborations with the federal government when it comes to CNG. But does this trickle down to the consumers of transportation now? That's every day people go out, and you still hear complaints of, high transportation fares here and there. It might not be a general thing, but there are still complaints. Do you see that when you go out for your reports?
Yes, we can't eliminate the human factor. The federal, we often say that governance is a collective responsibility. If the federal government is taking the initiative to provide these buses and collaborating with the critical stakeholders in the transport sector, like the NYT, the NATO, and providing them with buses, it is expected that they too will invest, in the scheme. Because for the transportation sector to thrive in Nigeria, it requires the participation of the private sector. Government alone cannot make this sector more vibrant. It takes the private sector to drive the transport system in every nation. Nigeria cannot be an exception. So that collaboration is there, the buses are there, but I think what is lacking is what needs more to be done is the purchasing, that all the stakeholders need to purchase more buses and put them out there. The buses are not too many. For instance, in FCT, you find those buses at the outskirts, not within the metropolis. They're out there covering the outskirts of the country, of FCT.
Isn't it?
Yes, and that is just for the low-income people. And I think they are benefiting. We've gone around, we've seen that people are really enjoying it. The only problem is just that the buses are not too many. But I know the project is just taking off. And let's just say it's just 2 years down the line. So I believe that by the end of the Tinubu administration, we'll have more people invested into that.
Now, as a reporter covering the transportation bits now, can you share with us your experience? What have you seen? What have you learned? And what do you think needs, a little bit of tweaking to make it, better?
Oh, thank you very much. As a reporter covering the transportation sector, I've come to realize, having engaged with different stakeholders, from the Ministry of Transportation to those in the National Assembly and other stakeholders, I've come to realize that the transportation, particularly railway, is the next oil in Nigeria. And if that is the situation, the facts on ground, I think what I've observed that needs to be done is investment. And I think government, like I said earlier, has taken the right initiative by, removing railway from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. Investment not in infrastructure. And when we talk about infrastructure is not limited, to tracks and train. Infrastructure has to do, for instance, what is required now is having a dedicated power supply scheme, and real-time monitoring. Because without a dedicated power supply scheme, to run the railway sector effectively, it will be difficult. And security is key in terms of transportation, the railway. So there is the need for investment, in that sector. Recently, the federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Transportation, is able to woo some Chinese investors, and the Ministry of Transportation, the minister revealed to journalists recently that Nigeria has secured the biggest investment ever, in railway sector. The investment, according to the minister, will surpass, all the investment that has been done in the railway sector in the last 60 years. And if this is anything to go by, then Nigeria is in for a game change.
Well, it's a good thing that the initiative has taken off, and we hope to see more improvements with time. Thank you so much, Ladi, for this insightful information, and we hope to see more of you on The Correspondent.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Let's take some messages now. The program continues in a moment.
Fellow Nigerians, this period may be hard on us, and there is no doubt that it's tough on us. But I urge you all to look beyond the present temporary pains and aim at the larger picture. All our good and helpful plans are in the works. More importantly, I know that they will work.
Welcome back. And if you're just joining us, the program is The Correspondents, and now to women empowerment. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is spearheading a capacity-building initiative under the Renewed Hope agenda, empowering thousands of women across the 6 geopolitical zones. And Nasarawa is one of the benefiting states of the program, with remarkable impact on rural women. Abigail Abashi is our guide.
From economic empowerment, food outreach scheme, skills development to social welfare and education, the Renewed Hope initiative, spearheaded by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, is reaching out to the people across the country, and Nasarawa State is not left out.
The vulnerable people, she really helped them. Empowerment, the elderly people, the disabled, she really helped. We want you to support this government for more dividends of democracy.
Initiatives like the training and empowerment of women farmers, distribution of home appliances, among others, has yielded positive impact, stimulating economic activity.
Today, I thank God that among the beneficiaries, this gas cooker will help me in many ways. So with this, it will help me in my baking business. So I want to say a very big thank you to the organizers, to the First Lady, for giving us this opportunity.
The wife of Nasarawa State Governor, Silifat Abdullahi Sule, through her pet project, has empowered many and facilitated the training of women and youths in technical and vocational skills, such as welding and fabrication, hairdressing, bakery, cosmetology, carpentry and tailoring.
And by the help of our mommy, she gave me this oven, and I'm very grateful for it.
Due to this empowerment, the fridge, the deep freezer, Her Excellency gave it to us. I have an improvement.
For Gabriel Abraba, a trainee on welding and fabrication, and others, one of their major constraints is unsteady power supply, and appeal to the relevant authorities to look into it for effective collaboration, especially at the grassroots. The governor's wife, Silifat Abdullahi Sule, has been interfacing with wives of the 13 local government chairmen in the state on the prospects of the Renewed Hope initiative, which is aimed at improving lives of rural women and the less privileged.
SARS Hope Foundation, in collaboration with Renew Hope Foundation, support 250 vulnerable elderly. Well, the beneficiaries, they are up to 1,000. The second edition of the elderly support program, they were given to 200,000 each to support them.
For the beneficiaries, the initiative is a testament to the First Lady's commitment to transform lives and called for more of such programs.
Represents progress in a national effort to restore hope, dignity, safety, and patriotism to fellow Nigerians. This development reaffirms the commitment of the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, which aims to enhance social welfare programs for all Nigerians.
Commends the First Lady of this nation, the wife of the President, Mrs. Senator Oleremi Tinubu, for making an impact to the life of persons living with disability.
You will agree that empowerment programs, no matter how little or big, often serves as an opportunity to unlock the potentials of individuals, boost productivity, and enhance economic growth.
Well done, Abigail, for capturing the remarkable impact of the First Lady's capacity building initiative on rural women in Nasarawa State. Your report highlights the transformative power of empowering women. Now, moving on, for over 8 years, the Leprosarium in Akure, Ondo State, has provided a safe haven for individuals living with leprosy. Toyin Batire visits the facility to highlight the resident stories and examine the efforts of the state government and well-meaning individuals to enhance their lives.
The Leprosarium in Akure, Ondo State, known as Agoireti, meaning the Camp of Hope, is located along Obaile axis of the state capital. Established 82 years ago, the facility was created as a refuge for persons affected by leprosy, shifting away from the long-standing culture of isolation and neglect. Over the decades, successive governments, along with well-meaning individuals and organizations, have made deliberate efforts to improve the welfare of the residents by providing basic social amenities and working to create a more dignified living environment.
We received the increment of 5,000 naira per head. That makes it 15,000 per head.
Despite these interventions, residents continue to express concerns over their living conditions, calling for better welfare support and improved access to essential services.
With the little money we receive, we buy our drugs by ourselves. Unless the one that philanthropists bring. Our children has graduated from the university. We struggle very hard to see that we sponsor them.
Ondo State government, on its part, says efforts are ongoing to enhance the standard of living at the Leprosarium with a focus on infrastructure upgrades, access to medical care, and social support for the residents.
We have also included them in all of the empowerment programs currently ongoing in the ministry.
There are caregivers that do care for them. They are not only caregivers, we also have people who are there to rehabilitate them.
Currently, the facility is home to over 200 individuals, including 69 persons undergoing treatment for leprosy.
Great job. Your report raises awareness about the challenges faced by individuals living with leprosy and the importance of support and understanding. Thank you for that report. And this is where we wrap it all up on the correspondence this week. We do hope to see you again, same time for another package. From all of us, it's bye for now.